So this may be a controversial take right here, but I think Select is hot garbage.
No. Select is by far the best looking product without
No. Best looking Lay it on me, Sam.
So you're just talking about overall my story as like a sports card collector in general, right? Not like a content creator.
You know what? Let's get into both. Why not?
All right. The content creation is honestly a very short story, while the sports card one is a little bit longer. So I'll try to make it relatively brief.
No, bro, no. The floor is yours. Go.
Okay.
Into it. Yeah.
Please
get into excruciating detail.
I'll name what happened every single day up to this moment from the day I was born, just for you there. But then I will do that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
This is how we beat the YouTube algorithm. So let's go.
You're right there. Okay. So what happened was it was kind of a combination of just a lot of different things at once. I was a big Pokemon kid. I had the DS games growing up, which kind of got me into the cards and, basically any comic books that they had. There wasn't like a ton of them, but there was a couple that I remember. Manga stories, I think that's what they're called. And the TV shows, all of that stuff, right? Just in Pokemon culture, I guess is what you could call it. And at that same time, I was also a big sports fanatic. I played soccer, baseball, t-ball, a little bit of basketball, flag football. My parents never let me play football because, as I just told you before the show, very small kid growing up, and they did not want me to die that early on in my life. So football was kind of out of the question. So they stuck with flag football, and I enjoyed it either way. But I didn't watch it. I didn't follow any sports in general at any point in my life. And at the time, my uncle was a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so he was kind of just trying to get me more and more introduced into watching sports and following them, right? But the nail on the coffin for me to becoming a full-blown sports fan outside of the sports that I played on my own was a kick return by Deshaun Jackson. I had a friend come over to my house, or punt return, excuse me. Friend came over to my house. We would always go out in the backyard and play football, and he pulls out his phone when he gets there, and he's like, "You have to see this play. This is unbelievable." And at the time, I did not realize this, but this was to cap off a 30-point comeback in a game versus the New York Giants. So Deshaun Jackson for the Philadelphia Eagles, the Giants punt the ball. He's standing back there getting ready for the punt. He actually drops it and hits the ground. So technically it's a live ball. Defense can get it or the offense can get it. 11 seconds left on the clock, right? So this is basically the last play of the entire game. He picks up the ball off the ground, takes off down the middle of the field. The defense is split like the Red Sea. All of a sudden, he's got one man left to beat. It's the puncher. The puncher can't get the tackle, and Deshaun Jackson's in the end zone. That was just unbelievable to me. I loved that moment so much, and I became an Eagles fan at the time, but that was just really the only team I knew. And Deshaun Jackson became, my hero, and so did LaShawn McCoy, right? So those were my guys. And what happened was I would usually go, because I was a Pokemon collector at the time, I would go to my Target, my local Target, get a couple of packs, rip them open, have some fun. Randomly, I decided after like a couple of weeks or months after seeing that play, I decided one day, you know what? I have money for Pokemon, but I'm actually going to buy some football instead. Why not? Like, I like sports now. It's my thing. I like cards. Let's try it out. So I grab I think it was a blaster box of 2013 Topps Chrome, and I'm ripping through it, right? And I'm pulling open some cards, and I pull a LaShawn McCoy 2013 Topps base. I lose my absolute mind. When I I lost my mind. I'm in the car. My mom's driving me. I'm in the back seat, and I pull it, and I'm like, "Mom, oh my gosh, I got a LaShawn McCoy Topps base card." And I just lost my absolute mind. It was probably like the greatest moment of my entire life at that point, was pulling that card. And that just got me hooked into sports cards as a whole. And I do have to say, thank you very much for sending me that card. I'd been looking at it for a couple of weeks on eBay before that, and I swear to God, I thought that I had bought it myself. And so then when you sent me that DM and you're like, "Did you get the package?" I'm like, "What package?" And you're like, "Oh, the LaShawn McCoy cards that I sent you." And I'm like, okay, so I didn't order them online. And I do want to give you, a verbal thank you here, because I did not know that you sent me them at first. And it is definitely the grail of my PC. Like I said, when I didn't even have the cards, that was the card that I needed. So that was my journey into the hobby. And overall, as content creation goes, I just kind of started as fun, right? I was just kind of like, let's have some fun with this. Let's see what I know, see if I can help anybody. And kind of what I originally was going to do was just document my journey and just have people kind of learn with me. Like, hey, we're starting here. And all of a sudden, 9 months later or 9 weeks later, hey, this is what we have learned. Now this is what we're doing going forward. And I could have like my followers making plays with me or something like that. And it kind of just changed over. Whoa, I almost dropped my entire computer over here that I got for some notes. It kind of just changed over time to, me putting out whatever I still want to do, but being a lot more informative. I don't really know how to explain it. It's natural. That's all I can really explain. The growth was natural. What's the word? Evolution as a content creator just happened naturally. I thought that I knew what I was doing in the beginning, but I really didn't. So I took a bit of a break and then came back with Should You Invest posts. And that was what really was the start of my content creation experience as a sports card content creator. And I eventually expanded into reels and tweets and story posts and a couple of live streams, not a ton. I'm trying to be more active there, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to do live streams sometimes. So, it's 50-50. But now I'm here. I just recently hit 5K followers. I'm working with, Luca Nation. I've done a little bit of work with 35 Ventures and Kevin Durant, and definitely very, very happy with every single step of the process. And I'm very happy with the progress that I've made as a content creator and a sports fan. Very blessed.
So, bro, I have to ask, did you get a publicist or a PR guy or get any sort of media training at all in the last like couple of weeks or months? Because I swear I've heard this story so many times, but like, every time you tell it, it like enhance it in some way, and you just get better and better and better at telling it. I swear, maybe it's just because people keep interviewing you, because like I said, you're freaking like Jimmy Neutron, as I use that in that video. You're the sports and sports card version of Jimmy Neutron. So
thank you.
I swear you're getting. I swear every time I hear your story and everything, it just. You elevate it in some way. Like you went full on analyst when you were recapping the Deshaun Jackson play. I was like, what the? I was like, damn. All right.
It just happens. I think it just, after you tell it so many times, there's things that you remember or there's things that you want to add in. And yeah. I had never described the play in as much detail as I just did right then. And I kind of decided, let's go for it. Right. So, that was something special for all of you listeners out there that are listening. So that was just for you guys. I don't plan on ever doing that ever again. You're very welcome. So,
you know what that is? That is the mark of an excellent storyteller. So bravo.
Thank you very much. That's some big props coming from you, because you.
Oh my God! Get out of here! Stop. All right, let's get right into it with these. Okay, obviously, we're almost near the end of the NBA season. So, best part about this podcast is you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes we'll talk about sports. Sometimes we'll talk about sports cards. Maybe we'll talk about comic books. All this random stuff. Today, we're talking about sports, at least for this first part. And the NBA season's coming to a close.
Yeah. For sure.
So as all these back chair, what's the term? Is it armchair? What is it? Armchair quarterback? When it's like, what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have zero idea what you're. Okay, I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's just basically okay. Let's be real here. When it comes to sports, all sports fans, everyone has an opinion. Everyone thinks they're Stephen A. Smith or
everyone thinks they're a genius.
Skip Bayless. Yeah, everyone thinks they're a genius, right? And you know what? Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. But looking at our picks for who's gonna win like the awards, the regular season awards, you and I seem like we're pretty much both geniuses, with the exception of one glaring pick.
So for MVP, I chose Nikola Jokic, and you chose Nikola Jokic as well. I think it's a pretty obvious pick. Rookie of the year, we both chose LaMelo Ball, by far the most hyped rookie I think out of this class coming into the draft, without a doubt in my mind. Sixth man of the year, we both did have Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz. Most improved player, we both had Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. For coach of the year, you chose Quinn Snyder or Monty Williams, while I said Tom Thibodeau or Quinn Snyder. The defensive player of the year, we had you picking Ben Simmons, and I picked Rudy Gobert.
So here's the thing. I'm going to let you school me first, because once you hear my reasoning for why I think Ben Simmons should win Defensive Player of the Year, you're going to absolutely like lose your marbles and you're going to hate me. So
All right.
just all right.
I do have, this is the computer that I almost dropped before, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's fine, but I do have my reasoning on here. I had to write it down because there's so many reasons why
It's already
Gobert
over.
should not only win the Defensive Player of the Year award, but in my opinion, win it unanimously this year. So let's talk about this, right?
Good.
So teams score 11.4 less points per 100 possessions when Gobert is on the floor than when he isn't. And with Simmons, teams only score 2.4 less points per 100% per 100 possessions. That is a 9-point difference. 11.4 points in general is ridiculous. The gap between him and Simmons right now is more than sometimes like the 3 best defensive candidates for this award in general, right? On top of that, teams are 5.8 less efficient from the field when Gobert's on the floor, while Simmons is only actually when he's on the floor, teams are actually 0.7% more efficient on the court, right? Now, the Jazz are 2 spots now. They were only 1 spot a couple of days ago behind the 76ers in defensive rating, and they're still top 3 or top 4. They're kind of flipping between the Jazz and the Knicks at the 3rd and 4th spots. But while the 76ers are leading, Ben Simmons has a much better supporting cast defensively and honestly kind of offensively, but mostly defensively than Gobert does, because he has Embiid and Thibault, who are both elite defenders, especially at their respective positions. He also has Dwight Howard. He also has Danny Green, and you could maybe throw Tobias Harris in that conversation as well. All very good defenders, average, above average, or elite, each of them. For Gobert, he has Conley, who is very good. Honestly, this year, he's almost an elite defender. I would probably consider him for an All-NBA award for his defensive efforts this year. And then after that, he has Derek Favors and Royce O'Neal. That's pretty much it. You can maybe say Jordan Clarkson. I said he's playing some okay defense. I wouldn't say it's exceptional, but, especially for Jordan Clarkson, it's actually pretty good. Now, finally, my most important reason for Gobert being Defensive Player of the Year. More shots are taken at the rim, and players have a higher efficiency around the rim than any other place on the entire NBA court. If someone does get past a good perimeter defender like Ben Simmons is, who is going to stop that player? That's right, a rim protector like Rudy Gobert. If someone gets past Ben Simmons, he's going to just give up and let Joel Embiid or Dwight Howard or Tobias Harris or whoever's in the paint stop the player with the ball in their hands, right? The rim protector has 5 players that they have to worry about getting the ball and attacking the basket, while perimeter guys only have 1, and it's usually just the player that's in front of them, maybe 2 if they're obviously, switching between screens and stuff like that. The rim protector is the last line of defense. Rim protection is the most important type of defense on an NBA court. So what reasoning is going to refute all of that evidence that I just threw out there and probably really piss me off this episode, Ben? Let's hear it.
Okay. So I had a feeling that you were going to go very deep into this research, given, your history of just kind of schooling every single person on debates. Yes. So I'm going to be real. I'm going to be real with you, Sam. I think Gobert probably will win Defensive Player of the Year.
He's actually losing right now. He is, unfortunately. But continue. I'm nervous.
But at the start of the season, one of my good friends, his name is Adam. Him and I and my other friend, we got into a debate over Ben Simmons not being an elite defender. And I was telling him, I was like, I'm telling you right now, Ben Simmons is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And he was just like, and then basically,
oh, you son of a bitch.
So,
I don't even know if I'm allowed to curse on here. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So,
okay. I was about to say, oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm really hoping Adam's not listening to this, because the argument you gave for Gobert was so good that, you know, if I was a voter, if I was a voter, I would give him that vote just off of that argument. But look, man, at the end of the day, it's very much a pride thing. And I called my shot at the start of the season, and I so badly wanted to tell Adam, I told you so. Like you said Ben Simmons was an elite defender. Yet he won Defensive Player of the Year. Yet obviously, you know, based off of it's looking more like Gobert will. So Adam, I really hope you're not listening to this. If you are, screw you. So that's my
Okay, listen. Two things I'll say. First, fuck you. I mean, you know, that I hate you for this, but I pride a man for sticking with his guns, for not backing down from what you originally picked. I give you credit where credit is due. I'm giving you a round of applause there. Even if you know you might look like an idiot, you're still gonna pick your guy. Oh no, okay.
Oh no, I know for a fact that once this podcast goes live, I'm gonna look like the biggest idiot of all time.
But that's the more entertaining.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this podcast. You have to have that ebony and ivory. You have to have that yin and that yang. You know, it goes well. That's why Friends with Ben is the bed. That's why Friends with Ben is the best
bed.
The best podcast.
Really help it make your case for not looking stupid.
I know. Yeah. You know what? Okay. No, I have to say it at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times on this show. Friends with Ben is the best Did I say Ben again? Friends with Ben is the best podcast that you've never heard of, because that's become my tagline at this point. So, all right, let's move on to some card talk.
Yeah, baby.
As you all know, if you're listening or if you've been at this channel for a while, I like sports cards, and I got friends like Sam who like sports cards as well. So, put together a little game. It's called Starting 5. This is how it goes. You pick 5 different cards from 5 different sets from each of the last 5 years. You must pick the 5 cards that you believe will be worth the most in 5 years. You cannot repeat players, sets, or parallels. No patches, autos, or one-of-ones.
Real quick. Yeah. Did you do 1 player per position as well? Or was that just me? Because I did like 1 point guard, 1 shooting guard, 1 small forward, 1 power forward, and 1 center. I just want to make sure about that. If not, it's fine. But that's what I did.
So you did like a traditional starting 5.
Yeah, like I picked out a point guard, shooting guard, small
forward.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I did more so 2021 starting 5, so like 3 front court, 2 back court, as they do in the All-Star. So so how we're gonna do this, we're gonna start from the most recent year, so the 2019 set. We're not gonna do 2020 just because that hasn't been, you know, all the cards for this year haven't been released yet. So we'll do 2019. I'll lead it off with my literal starting 5. So this is who I have playing at center. Okay. For my pick at 2019, I picked Zion, and I picked his Mosaic Genesis. So reason being for that is I want to preface this by saying that I hate Mosaic with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. I think it is the most overrated set in the entire hobby. However, with that said, that Genesis card is fucking beautiful. Like, oh my goodness.
It is the nebula of Mosaic.
Yes,
it
yes,
is a
yes.
Beautiful card.
Yes.
It is beautiful.
And because of that, obviously, you know, Zion gets so much hobby love. He's the most hyped up prospect since LeBron. I have a very good feel, aside from obviously, you know, his high end like RPAs and everything. I feel like his Genesis, because it's also first year Mosaic, that'll go down as his iconic rookie card, because all those factors, you know, first, like, you know, I feel like one thing that is underrated in the hobby is first year stuff. Mm-hmm. With some exceptions. Some people really push it where it's like, oh, first year he averaged so and so, or first year he went, like, okay, that's when you're getting stretched. But like, you know, first year sets released, or first year with a new team to an extent. Like, you know, obviously with like LeBron first year Lakers cards, like I get it.
Depending on the set, it's actually like if you pick out like a national treasures of him in his Laker uniform, I'm like, makes a little bit of sense. But if you're doing Prism base, you're an idiot.
No,
you're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Yeah. But yeah, that's my pick for 2019. What's yours?
Okay. I did 2020. Like I went from 2016 to 2020. I did not realize you meant the past like 5 years.
My bad. I should have.
And I do agree with you. Like when picking this stuff out, it was harder with my 2020 pick to like to choose who it would be to choose which card it would be because obviously we don't know who's gonna be in each set and stuff like that. But I'll go with 2019, and when we get all the way back to 2015, I'll just do my 2020 then. So 2019. There's two players that I had to have in my lineup, Luka Doncic and Zion Williamson. So my Zion Williamson is my 2019 pick. He's also my power forward in my lineup. And I went with his 1-1 downtown rookie card. First of all,
that's good.
That card is beautiful. While I do like color matching stuff more, and I wish that card was purple instead of blue, it is so clean cut. It is just absolutely gorgeous. The stuff, the whole, city background. I think there's a couple of palm trees and buildings and stuff there. It's just amazing to say the least. And I almost went with this Court Kings level 4 because it is super short print, just like this card. But this card already almost sells for 5 figures as a PSA 10. If you don't think it's gonna, gain, like if you don't think that card's gonna eventually hit 5 figures within a couple of years, and then of course gain even more traction as time goes on, like you're insane. I mean, that card's already almost at 5 figures as a PSA 10. I'm sure it's going to get there soon. And of course, over time, 5 years from now, I'm sure it'll probably be 15K as a PSA 10, if not more, depending on his success. As far as population goes, this card is only 28 cards total in PSA population with 26 10s and 2 9s. So it's a super low pop card. It looks great. Everyone loves downtown. It's already almost 5 figures as a PSA 10. I think that's all the factors that you need in order to pick this card for your starting 5. I love it. I love this card, and also I love this card. It looks beautiful. So that's my reasoning for my pick for Zion Williamson 2019.
Damn. So even though I took it back one extra year, you took it forward by busting out the pop reports and everything. I was like, oh shoot, okay, all right. He really did his research on this, because when you showed me, it's like
for 1 or 2 cards. So I think you'll be
fair.
okay.
All right,
only a couple of cards I really needed this for. So
that's the thing. When it comes to the hobby, scarcity is like super key where it matters, right? So no, it's good to bring the pop reports out in certain circumstances. It doesn't make sense when you're like, it's a PSA 1 of 1. I'm sorry to throw him under the bus, Sekou Doumbouya, like just.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Sekou. I'm sorry. It was just the first thing that came to mind. But anyways, all right, let's take it to 2018. It's pretty obvious who.
I mean, I already gave my pick, but
yeah. Sure I mean, anyone who doesn't take Luka Doncic for a 2018 set, you're out of your mind, because if you've seen how ridiculously high his cards have gotten over the past year, it's just insane. So I have a weird feeling that we probably have picked the same card here, because this one blew my mind when I saw how much it sold for at Golden. But I picked Luka Doncic's Prism Gold. It blew my mind when I saw it sold for more than the 86 Fleer Jordan in a PSA 10. That absolutely, like, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I love Luka, don't get me wrong, but the fact that
he's already outselling Jordan.
He's outselling Jordan. And the thing is that though, like, the 86 Fleer was already pretty high to begin with. It's making its way back down. But the fact that Luka's Prism Gold sold for that much, I was just like, oh my goodness. If, like, God forbid something were to happen to Luka, like injury wise, that, oh my goodness, I can't imagine. That money is just like
I just had to knock on wood real quick, just to
Yeah, for
ensure
sure.
our safety and the hobby safety as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the pick. Iconic card for sure. Hopefully, if he can pan out, and Prism out. Gold Prism is obviously going to pan out. The card that I chose was the 2018 Select Courtside Silver, and I only did this because I believe in Select a lot, but also a couple of other reasons as well. So for those of you that don't know, Select was a hobby only product for every single year up to this point, from 2012 to 2019. It was a hobby only product, meaning you could only find it at your LCS or your or like Panini online. You could not find it in Target, Walmart, or any of the retail store. Now it's out. Those cards are going to be much higher in population, and the Select Courtside Silver card should be outselling the Prism card much higher at a much higher price than it is right now, but it isn't. Let me read this off to you. This card's population is 44. It is lower than some parallels at that rate. It is a very rare card, because this is also the first year that they introduced really introduced the 3-level system where each level had different rarities. They didn't do that any year up to this point. This card is super rare. It is already kind of iconic in the hobby. It's a refractor. Everyone's going to love refractors. Already an iconic parallel in a sense, the refractor in the hobby. And if this is a low pop refractor, I think people are really going to like this. And of course, because the next few years of Select are going to be relatively high in population, people will look back at these cards and be like, holy crap, they are so low pop. And I think that this is going to be the card that they gravitate to. While I don't think it's going to be more expensive than his Prism Gold out of 10, I just had to throw it in there because I think it's going to be an iconic card within 5 years, or at least more iconic than it is right now. And it will be selling for some insane prices, considering that it is just a refractor. And it's a bit shocking to see a refractor selling for the prices that I think it could reach, to say the least. So that's my pick for Luka Doncic.
So this may be a controversial take right here, but I think Select is hot garbage. So
how do you leave a meeting in Google or in Zoom real quick? I just have to go
listen. I don't understand the hype behind Select at all. I don't think the cards look good. To me, it looks like a bootleg Miller Lite bottle, or just like a bootleg beer bottle in general, just kind of like thrown together. The fact that it's hobby only doesn't help either, because it's just like, it's not as, yes, it makes it more rare, but it's just, it would work if the card actually looked good, but like Select just doesn't do it for. I will say this though. I still think Mosaic is worse. And like Genesis has, that's the one thing good going.
That's the one thing going for it.
I will say that I'm not sure. I think it's only in Select. This might be a little off topic, but I think it's only in Select football. But like their Dragon Scale parallel is
football.
That parallel is like super nice. I will admit that.
I like the Cosmic parallel actually as well.
That one as well. Yeah.
Football. But once again, Ben, fuck you. No. Select is by far the best looking product without
no best looking absolutely not. No.
What looks better? Kings. Okay, Court. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Select is not the best looking product out of every product released.
Okay.
Out of the four Chrome products, Optic, Prism, Mosaic, and Select, in my opinion, by far the best looking product. However, if you were to say like all sets, I would say Court Kings, I would say Flawless, I would say National Treasures. I would say there's like a lot of sets I would probably put over Prism, but which one of those four looks better than Select?
Okay, so it goes like this. It goes Optic up here.
Okay, and you didn't put Prism first, so I'm happy about that.
No. Prism would not go first. Although I will admit that this year's Prism, it looks really, really nice. And
50-50.
I'll give credit to my buddy Anthony for this. The photos that they use for this year's Prism are very reminiscent of Select. I will give that to Select. They use great photos. But the overall design of the card is just doo-doo, man. It's just absolute doo-doo. So it goes like this. It goes Optic up here, Prism next.
Oh my
Then you have a trash bin. You have a trash bin that's right here. And then below the trash bin, you have Select and then Mosaic.
Okay, here's how it goes. Here's how it goes.
Okay.
Here's how it really goes. Select on top,
No.
Optic below it, you inside of that trash can below that, Prism below that, and then Mosaic is like not even here. It's on its way to the meeting to see, like, it's on its way to the rankings. Like it's making a journey. It's currently on its daily commute to see where it falls in line. It's so far out of the picture. But no. It's just no. Like we could really get into this, and I don't want to like spend too much time, but here's
of course. That's the hot take. That's the true hot debate. Yep.
Way better photos. The design still, the waves, the black like spots that they'll put in there at random points, the clean cuts, the die cuts that they put in there sometimes. It's Select all day. But, you know, we'll have to just agree to disagree on this.
Fair enough.
I'm very disappointed in you, Ben. I'm very disappointed.
Okay. Anyways, okay. Now 2017, we're next. We actually mentioned it during our heated debate there, but my pick for 2017, I picked Jason Tatum. He'll be playing my where will I put him actually? He'll be at small forward, yeah. And I picked his Court Kings Aurora. Aurora is probably one of the nicest inserts in the entire hobby.
I'm gonna actually look this up real quick because I think I've heard of it, but I don't remember what it looks like. So go ahead, continue.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Aurora, it's basically the Color Blast insert if the Color Blast insert didn't suck. So that's another very popular insert that, in my opinion, is.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is nice. That's really nice. Whew.
Yeah,
it sells for a lot of. Holy crap! Wow.
Yes, yeah. His the 2017 Aurora is honestly I think arguably the nicest incarnation of that insert. It's just the colors. It's just everything's just. Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, I'm a sucker for the artsy fartsy type cards. That's why, like I said, like Court Kings is probably my favorite set. The Aurora is just that's why, yeah. And then Jason Tatum after Luka and Zion in terms of like the rising stars. I think Jason Tatum's like arguably the third one now.
Yeah,
especially after that 60-point game. Oh my goodness,
he's really kicking butt right now. Like to wrap up the season for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into my pick, but a card that I want you to look up is 2019. It could be a rookie, Zion Williamson or Ja Morant. If you have like a phone nearby or something you can use, I want you to look up, and for all the listeners at home, look up Zion Williamson 2019 Court Kings rookie level 2. I think that card is phenomenal. Have you seen it? It's unbelievable, just the amount of detail that they put into that card. But I'm going to go into my 2017 pick. So obviously, like I said, I did a full starting lineup. So I have Luka as my shooting guard and Zion Williamson as my power forward, and my center. The only years that I have left are 2016, 2017, and like 2020, right? Mm-hmm. And there's no good centers, really. No really good centers besides this guy that you could really put in there. And I have Bam Adebayo for 2017 as my center pick. You could maybe say Domantas Sabonis, but Bam Adebayo is on a whole other level than Domantas Sabonis, in my opinion. And that's coming from a Pacers fan. So, you kind of know that takes legit. And for him, I chose his Prism Red Shimmer out of 8, right? And I was originally going to say his Red Pulsar out of 25 because personally I like the Pulsar more than the Shimmer. But I had to go with the Shimmer, not only because it is lower in print run, but because that was also the first Prism Shimmer that ever came out, and it's the only Shimmer in the set. On top of that, it is also color matching with his jersey, so it's got the Heat colors. Overall, just a beautiful card. And of course, now Shimmers are first off the line products only. So I think that this is like you mentioned before, the first part of whatever, right? First year on a certain team, first year of a parallel, first year of a set. It can be iconic. This is the first shimmer to ever exist in Prism,
Yeah.
and it's the only one. And I think that's going to be not going to be very iconic necessarily, but it just is already. Like in my opinion, it's something that should be given more credit. But I don't think a lot of people just know that fact. So that's my card that I chose for 2017. I love it personally. So yeah, that's my pick.
That's a great pick. I feel like a lot of people, especially new blood in the hobby, I think they're paying more attention to color matching cards now, because I've noticed
100%.
that, well, because at the end of the day, I always go, I've said it time and time again, think like a collector, right? Why is this card have a certain appeal? Yeah, because the colors matches, it just gives it that extra, I guess,
Safety net, honestly, in my opinion.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not the biggest. I don't dislike Shimmer as much as I dislike Select and Mosaic, but like it's a decent parallel.
It's all right. Like it's not my favorite either. I 100%
Yeah.
agree with you. It's okay. The only reason that I would ever buy one is because it is so short. Like it's such a short print card. There's only 8 of them for every single parallel every single year. So it's just got that rarity aspect to it. But yeah, they're like collectors or not collectors, but everybody in the hobby is definitely paying more attention to color matching cards. And I do agree with what you were saying about thinking like a collector, because at the end of the day, like if knocking on wood once again, God forbid, if something were to go wrong in the hobby and everything were to tank today, the collectors would be the ones that currently buy and sell cards that currently want those cards.
Yes.
And those will be the cards that either don't take as much of a fall or that gain the most traction once again if things were to pick up in the hobby, like at a later date. So you always have that safety net if you buy what you think a collector would want, or if you buy what you think collectors will continue to buy in the future.
Yeah, that's honestly probably you're right. That's the biggest safety net if God forbid the hobby were to completely tank tomorrow. It's like what I always say. If you're gonna spend all this money on cardboard, be prepared for if it all goes to crap.
Yeah,
that you'll still enjoy it, because it's like, oh, okay, I still like looking at it, because I have some cards that didn't cost they didn't cost really much at all, but I just love to have that. That's why they're PC cards, right? So
yep. I
all
got
right.
99-cent cards in my collection, like that LaShawn McCoy card.
Exactly.
99 cents, and it's my holy grail for the PC. So
Facts. All right. So for 2016, I feel like this was a no-brainer for me personally. I picked LeBron, and I picked LeBron's Optic Hollow. Reason being is because, well, first year Optic to go along with that trend. And the biggest thing is it has Kobe Bryant on the photo. So that's my big thing. I think that I don't know if it'll go down as an iconic card, because it's not like the 2008 Topps where they're like going one-on-one with each other. But the fact that it still has Kobe on it, it's first year Optic, like I said, hollow refractors are people like shiny cards for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I will admit though that 2016 Optic,
it's kind of ugly.
It's kind of ugly, but
I think 2017 is worse because it's all blue and it doesn't match with everybody. At least with with 2016, it had like team colors on it, so you didn't have to worry about that as much. I agree there.
I will say this about Optic though, even though like 2016 and 2017 were pretty weak, 2018 Optic is probably, in terms of like the chrome, in terms of Panini's chrome products, that is the best designed.
It is
product.
2003 Topps Chrome, but in a different product. It's
exactly
like it's that sleek, clean cut look that it symbolizes professionalism, even though it's not like a professional set or anything like that. It just feels professional, right? But yeah, I personally went with all rookies. Real quick, is LeBron playing at the 4 or is he playing at the 1? Because you said Jason Tatum is going to be your 3. Luka Doncic, I think you said, would be what, your point guard or your shooting guard or your small forward? I don't know.
Oh, I put Zion at the 5,
yeah.
Luka at point guard, and Tatum at the 3. So I'm putting LeBron at the 4.
Okay. Yeah, understandable. So I personally went with all rookies.
Fair.
I wanted to do that because like you could kind of symbolize each draft class with it. I just like if I didn't, I would obviously be putting LeBron on this list, but I
Fair enough.
didn't. And so for 2016, my 2020 rookie does not have a Kaboom card, much to my demise. I'll get into that when we talk about it. And Bam Adebayo does not have a Kaboom card either. And I really had to include Kaboom here, not only because it's short print, or not only because I like it, but because it is so short print and everyone in the hobby really seems to like it, right? And this player from 2016 was the only other one that I could find that had a Kaboom card, right? And while I wanted to have LaMelo, honestly, in my 2020 class, looking at the small forwards for 2016, for the next 5 years, Jaylen Brown, Brandon Ingram, and Buddy Hield were not exactly guys that, in my opinion, were going to see significant growth because of their roles on their teams and kind of because of the front offices that both of those teams have. So I decided to go with Ben Simmons for my 2016 point. He will be running my point guard position. Ben Simmons, 2016 Kaboom rookie card is my pick. Now,
Nice.
much like you, I did want to go with an optic card because obviously 2016 is first year optic. I was thinking the red out of 99 because that would have red, white, and blue, which is all of the 76ers colors, right?
Yeah.
Kicks butt. So I was thinking about doing that. And also, I mean, it's a parallel, right? It's going to be relatively short print, but I had to include Kaboom on here. So, you know, it's a small sacrifice to pay for salvation, in the words of Thanos, right?
A small price to pay for salvation.
So I had to do it. I had to pick Kaboom. It's like I said before. I mean, I kind of already gave my reasoning. It's short print, relatively iconic. People love it in the hobby, and it's just a card that it's a type of card that is not replicated on anything. The design is just not replicated whatsoever. The style, the comic book look, the slightly thicker edges that these cards have, it's just not replicated completely on any single card. There are parallels that are in certain sets that remind you of Kaboom, or there's like Downtown or whatever the other insert is that just recently came out that I can't remember, that reminds you a little bit of Kaboom, but there's nothing that you could put side by side with Kaboom the way you can with Prism, Optic, Select, and Mosaic. You can't group Kaboom with anything, and for that reason I have to include it on the list somewhere. So Ben Simmons, you're my starting point guard for this starting five.
I know I didn't specify it in the instructions, but I do commend you for picking all rookies because I feel like taking LeBron is kind of a cop out, but it depends on the card, right? Because there's so many, like, you have to, if you're gonna pick a veteran card in any of these sets, you have to be very
Specific.
Specific. Like, for example, when I picked LeBron, it's because first year optic, and then
Kobe's
he has Kobe on the photo. And speaking of Kobe Bryant, so you went 2020 to 2016, I went 2019 to 2015.
Yeah.
For 2015, I picked Kobe, and I picked his Revolution Galactic because Galactic is probably the nicest Galactic is probably the nicest non-numbered parallel that Panini has to offer. It's just so stunning. And then on top of that, to go again with the first year trend, first year Galactic for Kobe Bryant, it's just I don't know exactly what the print. I know with the Galactic, I think I was listening on to a podcast or something. I think their print runs are something like there's only maybe 10. That's the estimated print run. It is something around there.
I mean, if you look at the pop reports yourself, you would just
they're low. They're
ridiculously low for every single player. It's definitely like a super short print parallel, and of course, first year of the Revolution Galactic, first year of Revolution, most iconic parallel, and one of the most iconic players of all time. I 100% agree with you. That's an excellent pick. And so my pick is from 2020, my small forward, a player that I do believe in so much.
I know
Patrick Williams is my starting small forward on this list. Now, here's the thing. I'm so pissed, by the way, that they did not give him a Kaboom card this year. Instead, they decided to give Kaboom cards to Obi Toppin.
Okay.
And
I thought.
Denny of Dia got Kaboom cards
Okay.
over this man. And they came. Here's the thing that really annoys me, though. This is a year where Panini has more people wanting cards than any other year in history. So they had 9 rookies in Kaboom last year. And so this year, with increased demand, you make it 5 rookies this year instead. Like, that annoys me to a level that I cannot even begin to explain, because in case you guys don't know, the viewers out there, my favorite card is by far Kaboom. By far. And I can't get a Patrick Williams Kaboom card. Like, that was the card of his that I wanted, like, more than anything else in the world. Like, if I were to give up every single card in my entire collection for the rest of my life, the LaShawn McCoys would be hard to pass up, but I would do it for a Patrick Williams Kaboom rookie, unfortunately. And he's not getting one. So this year I decided instead to go with a card that I mentioned before, talking about Zion Williamson, his Court Kings level 4. I love Court Kings, super good looking set. Not selling for, crazy high amounts, honestly. And there was no particular levels 1 through 4 that I loved this year from Court Kings. From what I could see, there was very few cards out there that I could actually find from Court Kings this year because it hasn't released yet. And of course, because, not all the products have released yet, I had to go with cards that I knew would exist. So I know he's getting a Court Kings level 4 card. They're super short print already, and they sell for about 4 figures already. People love it because, if you look at the pop report for Zion, there was only 5 10s, 14 9s, and 2 8s. Only 21 cards in total population for that card. And obviously it's relatively hard to grade because it's a canvas card with almost a 3-to-1 ratio between the 9s and the 10s. I just love that card. Super short print. Player that I believe in. I'm going with it. That's my 2020 pick. So here's the real question, though.
Yeah.
At their primes, and it's a little bit hard to say because Patrick Williams is not at his prime yet.
Yeah.
At his primes, whose starting lineup wins? Does
come on
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Jason Tatum, and Zion Williamson beat Ben Simmons, Luka Doncic, Patrick Williams, Zion Williamson, and Bam Adebayo?
See, I wasn't even going to bring it up because that's something that did not need to be brought up, because I knew, I was like, okay. When I realized which direction you took it, I was like, okay, we're not going to have the starting lineup face off against each other because that would just not be fair at all. But you brought it up, so okay. Obviously, your starting lineup would crush mine. Let's just no. Okay, I can't even be sarcastic about it. Stop it with this malarkey. No. Okay,
Blasphemy.
So, all right, I will. Since you went 2020 and I went 2015, here let's try flipping it a bit, and you pick a card from 2015 and I'll pick one from 2020. So
should it be a rookie? Should it be a rookie or no?
Doesn't have to be. If you want to keep with that trend, sure. Just to keep you on the spot a little bit. But when you were talking about, I can't believe they gave Kaboom cards to these people. For whatever reason, I thought you were going to try to troll me and be like, I can't believe they gave a Kaboom card to Vince Carter. And I was ready to just end chat right there. But yeah, going off of that would easily be my pick for my 2020 card, because I literally just saw that card yesterday and like I was drooling. I was just like, oh my goodness, because like you said, I feel so strongly about Kaboom.
It's beautiful.
As you do. Like, Kaboom is just, I'm a comic book nerd, and Kaboom appeals to like every fiber of my being, because it's basketball and just like the elements of comics. It's perfect. And then you take, arguably, depending on the day, my favorite player of all time, the greatest Raptor of all. Well, okay, I can't say that because that would be disrespecting Kyle Lowry.
And also, Vince Carter did Raptors fans dirty.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast that we can get into. But I mean that that kaboom,
It's
that
beautiful.
Vince Carter kaboom is just stunning, and I will find that card, even if that means I have to put a bounty on it. So if you're listening to this and you would like to get paid a nice sum, and by nice sum I mean like dim sum, because I can't afford to pay you a nice premium to find that card, but I will be very thankful and very generous if I could, get a lead on that.
He'll
Vince
send
Carter.
a hug through the video camera if he ever makes a video about it. That's what you'll do. Yeah. Yes.
yes.
Love the pick. I'll go in the same realm as you. 2015. I'll go Revolution Galactic. I'll go with Devin Booker. Put him at my shooting guard, and I'll switch over to and I'll move Luka Doncic to my small forward because he actually does play a lot more minutes than I realized. And I'll go with Devin Booker there. There's off the top of my head, I just can't think of a lot of 2015 cards, so unfortunately, I can't do a ton of research.
I'll go.
But all the reasons that you presented before. Now I'm gonna just pick my starting five in a battle just to piss you off because you picked Ben Simmons for Defensive Player of the Year, and we need both of our egos hurt here. So there you go, Ben. You're very welcome. In all seriousness, though, your starting five would whoop my starting five's ass probably in a 4-0 sweep in a playoff series. And I would leave ashamed if I was that coach because it would be just a total butt kicking and a complete embarrassment to all five of my players at any given moment, right? So definitely your starting five. No doubt in my mind. I just wanted to annoy you a little bit.
I do appreciate you returning the troll job to me, because I definitely hit you with a really bad troll job and all right, let's get ready for a nice debate. And then I hit you with in my defense, I warned you ahead of time. I was like,
you did.
So yeah.
You did.
That was a fun one, bro.
For sure. I agree.
That was anything to close it off with, anything to plug, any Luka Nation Network stuff that we can look forward to, any boardroom breaker stuff that we can look forward to?
Not necessarily, but if you do want to get ready, because I like I said, I can't give you all the details right now. I don't have everything planned right now. But if you do want to just stay updated, you could follow me at LukaNation_Conrad on Instagram. You could follow at Luka Nation Network and Luka's Tigers LeBron's podcast on Instagram as well. And you can also check out Boardroom Breakers as well to get some more of my content. But that's all I really have to say as far as something I want to wrap this up with, because I've given this take multiple times and I am coming out with my own IGTV video at some point making the same claim. Patrick Williams will be the best rookie out of the 2020 class when it is all said and done. No doubt in my mind. I'm not even kidding. I've never been more confident in any player in my entire life. And it still seems like a massive gamble to me sometimes, but there's a lot going for this kid. Like I said, I will make a video. And if you do want to stay updated with that, you could follow some of the socials that I linked before. But I firmly believe that, and I will preach it from the mountaintops any day of the week. As someone that, I think you love Kawhi Leonard yourself, this man is Kawhi Leonard 2.0. That's the comparison that is being...
Wait, okay. No. Okay, go
I
on.
don't think that he's going to be quite as good as Kawhi is, but the play style and the shots they take, the way they run the offense, the mentality they have, the way they handle the media will all be legitimately the same. He'll be Kawhi 2.0, but it will be to a lesser level than Kawhi Leonard is as far as production goes, in my opinion.
I just needed to hear you say that, because the moment that you uttered Mr. Fun Guy's name, I was just like, wait, hold on. You have to tread lightly here, because it's
the claw and the paw, baby. They're both there. Zach LaVine gives the Kawhi Leonard comparison. LeBron James has said he's got characteristics of Kawhi Leonard himself. And if you really want to get into comps, I don't know how to say his name, Karnish Chovis, for the GM for the Bulls, when drafting him, guess who they compared him to?
Kawhi Leonard.
one of the greatest bulls of all time.
Oh no. Okay.
Scottie Pippen.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely some comparisons there. We'll see how this take fares, whatever 10, 20 years down the line. But that's what I believe, and that's how I'm gonna wrap this show up. So if you have anything else to say, Ben, you can as well.
Hey man, if this this take will either do one of two things. It'll just be one. It'll either be one. We'll look back on it and be like, okay, yeah, just yeah, whatever. Or this will affirm my current belief that you are a freaking oracle when it comes to basketball. So either way, it's just you're either gonna just forget it, like, okay, whatever. He's gonna say, or he's gonna be like, oh my goodness, this guy knew. He knew.
It's either the worst take of all time or the best take of all time. And when you make a prediction like that,
I wouldn't even say
really,
worst.
there's really no in between. Calling Andrew Wiggins the next LeBron James is kind of a pretty bad take.
No, I was gonna say the worst take of all time would be saying Select is
all right, time to go.
All right. All right.